things about JK's game, Tony? What's going right for him? What's different about it?
I'd say just his ability is really intentional about everything he's doing, and he's trying to be a leader. He's had a great camp, much more physical in his running style as far as attacking defenders and putting his foot in the ground and not dancing around looking for big runs, just running and taking what's there. And so just being real decisive in the way he's running the ball right now, so it's been really good.
How much of that?
Coach, can you scoot up this a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
How much of that is different than the way he practiced before? Because we've heard about the dancing around last year in the games, but
Well, you did that in practice a lot too.
okay.
And I think he's I don't know, I wouldn't say a finesse guy, but he's always trying to make guys miss and this, that, and the other versus just put your foot in the ground, trust your speed, and finish runs in a more powerful and manner. And he's a lot stronger than he's been. He's probably as strong as he's ever been. And we've challenged him as a staff. We've challenged him to do certain things for our offense, for our football team, and he's responding.
Coach Day's talked. He's basically been. It feels like he's throwing down a challenge to the backups to step up.
Yeah.
If you had to go play tomorrow,
Yeah.
what's changed for him?
Well, he's bigger, and he's also obviously been able to be a little bit more physical. And he's an older guy, and he's providing leadership. He's making plays. He's playing at a real good rate of speed right now, and doing well. And I think one of the things that's probably helped him some too is he's been able to focus on just this and not bounce around. And I think that's probably helped him. You'd have to ask him, but I think that's lended to some of his successes.
How much is Master Teague's absence for some of this camp influence that? It seems like there was a lot of expectation maybe he could be that guy.
Well, I mean, it's just giving other guys more opportunities. And all of a sudden, somebody who's going to share reps isn't in there. It just provides more opportunities for the other guys, and they've capitalized on those.
With DeMario, when did you become confident that he was a strong number 2 back? Because you answered the question even before Austin was done asking it that DeMario's the guy there. When did you become confident he was the guy, Tony?
For me,
Yeah.
probably about a week ago, that I finally said, this is the guy that I would turn to, because he's done a nice job, and it's been a long camp, but he's done a nice job for us. And I'd say to answer your question directly, probably about a week and a half ago.
And who would be number 3 right now, or is that?
If I had to go, I don't know. Probably Marcus Crowley. He's really come into his own the last week or so, week and a half. He had the ebb and flows of being a true freshman, and the highs and lows, and the peaks and the valleys and the plateaus, and he's really, you can tell in the past 3 or 4 days he's really done a nice job. You can tell he's playing with a lot more confidence.
And he obviously enrolled early. I mean, do you think that would be possible where he's at right now if he didn't
Probably
have
not.
that experience?
Probably not, and I think that assisted him. And and then Steele's right there too. I mean, Steele's had a good camp too. Like I said, just the highs and lows of being a young guy and being new. But they've both done a really good job, and there's very little separation at all. But those guys have all done a nice job.
I think you said in the spring Marcus was drinking out of a fire hose. Is that water flow slowed down there?
A little bit, yeah. I think so. Like I said, you have to ask him his opinion of it. But yeah, I think so. And but he's been challenged too. You showed us you can do something once, and then all of a sudden you don't do it for another 10 plays, and now I got an issue with you because you've shown that you can do it and you're capable. So just consistency in his play, and so he's done a pretty good job with that so far.
When that happens, do you tell him, like, we know you can do this? So
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's one thing to tell him, but you got to show him.
yeah.
And that's why we tape everything we do, so there's video evidence. And the one thing that I think all our players would tell you was, again, it's a transparent program. You're not going to have to guess how I feel. You're not going to guess what I want. I mean, you'll just very clearly articulate, this is exactly what we want you to do, and this is exactly how we want you to do it. And then when you do it that way, then you know. So yeah, but he's done a nice job. I'm happy where he's at right now.
Do you expect a more balanced attack this year? With Dwayne, you threw a lot of passes last year.
Well, time will tell. Whatever it takes to win. And so time will tell.
Tony, but did y'all have conversations in the offseason and the summer that y'all do need to run the ball more effectively? I mean,
No, it wasn't.
How's that conversation
No,
work,
it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was just kind of, here are the guys we got. Here's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And So we just got to continue to get better at whatever it is we're doing. And again, like I said, whatever it takes to win, that's what we're going to try to do.
But y'all do want to be threats running and throwing, right? I mean, am I wrong about that?
Maybe we should run the wishbone.
Yeah. You got enough backs running the wishbone?
Got 5.
Yeah.
And get them on the field sometime.
Yeah. But I mean,
Tim, I don't know. To answer that, like I said, we're just whatever it takes to win. If that's 50-50, it's 50-50. If it's not, then it's not. So, who's to say?
I know. I mean, we're always looking for that kind of number. I'm just wondering if, as y'all look back on last year, as great as things were,
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
And we set all kinds of records offensively, so it's not like it was all broken.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. But yet we talk.
So it goes from year to year. I mean,
Yeah.
you think about a couple years ago, we ran the mess out of it with JT,
Right.
and then we had Dwayne as a first-round quarterback that threw it all over the yard. And so you do what you got to do to win, and you play into the skill sets that you have available to you. So where we're at right now, we'll know a little more in about a week and a half.
But when you hear like your lead back coming into this season, J.K., talk about last year being a failure to him, even though he topped 1,000 yards again and stuff. Did you get the sense that your room wants to be, I don't know, more of a factor in that
Yeah, of
regard?
course. I mean, those guys are competitive guys. I guess if you would ask receivers, they would say this. You would think they'd say the same thing, that they would want to, catch more balls or whatever it may be. But to say a failure. It wasn't about. Again, I don't want to put words in his mouth. But it wasn't about the lack of, opportunities. I think it was just more. He thought he could play better,
Right.
And again, a very highly competitive person. Personality that he is, he wasn't happy with his production. Thought he could have played better, and so I have no problem with him saying that he thought his way he played was a failure. That's how he feels, and so we just all got to get better.
Is there any